welcome to the first video of the year. It is 2022. Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you for being here. We are excited to push content for you guys. We've been talking about doing this for an extraordinarily long time. We're finally doing it. This is a podcast. You thought I was going to say the name, but I'm not. I'm not going to steal the thunder because we say it later and I'm cheesy. So I kind of like the way that it sounds. What you can expect from us is everything and anything. We literally talk about whatever. There are no limits. Nothing is off limits as long as it's appropriate. I've been friends with these guys for forever. We've been friends since we were kids. We've been friends since the first day I can remember. You know how old folks are like, I remember you used to. That's us. That's my friend group. And we figured, why not just try something new? You never know. Why not just try it? We will try to make this as interactive as possible. So in the description below will be the email that we are all using. Will be all our social media that you can try to reach us at. If you have something you thought about, something you've been stuck on for a long time, or something you just want to hear somebody else's opinion on, shoot it to us so we can read it. We will shout you out as a support mechanism for being here, watching the video, and helping us out to move forward. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button first and foremost. Hit that bang, bang. I will not hold you up because we already talked for a long time. So enjoy the video. This is Awake and Analyze, where we talk about every single thing in the world.
So you talking about like anything I wanted to know?
It don't matter what it is. If you thought about it, let's talk about it.
Say no more.
Here we go. First thing on the list. We don't even got a list, so.
This shit is a freestyle. Today's topic is how to handle day-to-day mental health. I'll pass this shit over to them because I ain't figured it out yet.
Every day, you have to wake up and decide that you're going to move forward.
Yeah,
simply. And it doesn't matter necessarily what you're moving forward for, but you have to move forward for something, whether it's yourself, somebody in your family, something that you're working towards. As long as you're moving forward and that's what you're going to decide to do, you're going to be all right. Since you woke up and you made your mind up, there's nothing else going on outside that can deter you from doing that. So you know what you're going to do today. That's one step forward for you already. But you have to make your mind up every single day. You hear it all the time. People say it all the time. I'm going to tell you this. It's not easy. It's actually probably one of the most difficult things you'll ever do in your life.
And I think you also got to have like a reset button every single day. Because carrying yesterday and the day before and a week before and a month before with you in this new day is where that shit starts to get a little bit tricky. Like if you wake up every day with a new fresh set mind and a new fresh goal every single day, then I think a lot of that mental health shit starts to come in where your past shit that starts to bring up into the future. You know what I mean? So I think just being able to let go of things.
Letting go of stuff that's not going to help you.
No, not at all. Things that you can't change no more.
Yeah, so if you learned something from yesterday that's not going to work today, there'd be no reason for you to go back and do what you already learned not to do yesterday. Also, y'all gotta learn to start loving yourselves. Like,
that's a fact.
For who you are. You're not going to change unless you actually really want to. And nobody's going to change you unless you want to change. Like,
God's who wants to do that shit. Then I had a crazy ass grandma, and she would keep me up until 3 a.m. and make me recite 1,000,000 times over and over again, I can't love nobody until I love myself.
For real though.
And she embedded that shit in my head every single night I stayed the night with her. So reciting that shit and her fucking cane, I got the shit down packed.
The cane?
She is scary. How you feel about that? Y'all think beating is important?
It depends on.
I know we got our ass beat.
I used to get. We ain't gonna talk about what I used to get. It's a certain type of beating. There's discipline and then there's beatings. I think discipline is important because there's all kinds. But beating is, you start leaving welts and shit like that. That's too much. You ain't got to do all that.
Just enough for them to get the point.
Just so they understand not to. All right, that's enough. I know not to do this again.
I hear a lot that people say that they don't want to beat their kids and them not get the point of the beating. I'm not gonna lie to you. I got a lot of beatings because I did a lot of stupid shit. So I feel like I always got the message of my beatings.
Yeah, because you knew what I was doing was stupid.
And I knew if I fuck up again,
that this was going to
I'm getting my ass beat.
Right. Or that I'm going to end up in some serious trouble.
Yeah, my situations might have been a lot more stricter than a lot of other people's.
Right.
Like, there's certain things that certain people could have got away with that I wasn't allowed to get away with, but I feel like that builds something in you. I ain't saying it's right all the time, like you said. Once it starts getting out of hand, that's different.
It's too much.
But that shit makes you who you are as an individual.
Literally molds you into a decent, practical human being.
But I can't do it. I don't think I'm be able to do it the way my parents did.
I know I won't, because it's about knowing why you're being disciplined.
Facts.
I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I know when I do it after the fact, because I feel bad, I do. Now I understand why parents is like, this is hurting me more than it's hurting you. Maybe not all the way true to the T, but it does have an effect on you. If you do something to somebody, like if I was to do something to my son, correcting him doing something that he ain't supposed to do, it still makes me upset that he's crying. So what I'm going to do is, after I did what I had to do,
explain to him.
I'm going to comfort you, but I'm also going to let you know that this is not okay. We're not doing this.
Just like this.
See, we got kids, so like our minds kind of like not all the way made up, but we kind of already made an assumption on how we're going to be moving forward with scolding. You ain't got a baby yet. You think you're going to be able to beat your kids when they act up and shit?
Just so they, get the point.
Like,
not nothing over crazy, like tear their ass up. But,
F's on report cards.
That's an absolute no. But F's on report cards is not a guaranteed discipline thing, first and foremost. Like, you bring home an F, you don't know no better. You don't know no better till I tell you. You bring home an F again, is when I'm going to have to say something to you. Ask you, what's going on? Why are you bringing home Fs? Because you already know now that Fs are unacceptable. Right. Now, you bring home another F, that's the third F you brought home after the first two
You're not
Fs.
getting it, so I got to show you another way.
Now I'm going to take something from you, so that way you understand, like, oh shit, Dad's not playing around. I can't be bringing Fs home. Now you bring home an F again after that, I might go old school and make you do some wall sits. But like, as far as pulling out belts and all that, I'm not doing that.
Oh, you're skipping that whole...
I'm skipping all that. I'm just going to go strictly to physical pain, so you can look at me while you're going through what you have to go through, and I'm going to be talking to you the whole time. So while you're sitting on the wall holding up textbooks, I'm going to be talking to you about why you shouldn't be bringing home Fs. So every time you think about going to school and acting a fool and not bringing home what you're supposed to bring home, and it's not even for me, it's for you. Ultimately, like, if you're not learning what you're supposed to learn, how are you supposed to be able to move forward in life later on?
You getting a beating?
I'm not doing that.
For what?
If your kid brings home an F.
Nah.
Not the first time.
Yeah, nah.
It's a repetitive thing. He's not taking what you're saying to him serious.
I don't know.
That's a hard question.
Yeah.
I'm skipping the belt, honestly. I just, like, that, to me, that would be too much. It takes too much mentally to get a belt, swing it.
Yeah, no.
You know how much effort and thought and, like,
that's what to hold back. Cause
you know what I mean?
To think about the damage you have to do just to hold back.
How do you even regulate how much strength you're supposed to use?
Exactly. With a belt.
Like,
swinging it so light. That's a fact.
Like, there is no me making you do something right now. I can literally see, like, your legs start shaking. All right, cool. He's going through it. So maybe enough's enough.
My parents didn't
they didn't care either, but that's one thing I learned is that, like, if I see that he's physically struggling, okay, cool. Take a break.
I ain't gonna beat him, not over no F.
But I'm talking to him the whole time though, so you got physical, you got mental, and you got emotional.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
Like, you got all three in one, all at one time.
That mental shit plays a big part, especially as a dad that's present in your kid's life. You can kind of have this unspoken authority over your kids with, like, your tone.
Yeah.
The way that you look at them. Me and my kid by ourselves,
right?
He's not gonna play that shit just off the simple stuff. I don't even have to yell at you.
Yeah.
You just know. There's like a, you know what I mean? That authority. Yeah. Get your shit together. It's about that time.
Figure it out.
Yeah. But I'm scared to get to that point where that's no longer a factor and you're, like, not intimidated by.
Once he gets over the look, then there's your voice.
Yeah.
You know, like, there's that stern. He's not playing around. He's not just looking at me. He means that shit. Now he's about to do something extra.
That's a fact.
The whole thing with this is, like, all of this will be explained.
You're not going to be in the dark through our process because you're a part of this shit with me.
You got to learn. And if I want you to be able to do better than what I'm doing, I have to let you know why I'm doing what I'm doing.
I got a great question, bro. Where is the turnoff? We got the best intentions for our kids, but we know what we know through experience.
Right.
There have been points and times in your life where your parent had an expectation for you and you didn't feel like that shit was right. when are you going to be a man enough to realize that you might have to take the back seat to a child and listen to their thoughts on what you feel like is right in the first place?
I'm glad you said that. It's because it's going to be like that the whole time, from start to finish. And that's why I was saying, when something's going on, before we even get to what I want to do, because you're in trouble regardless.
That's a fact.
We were talking about F's. You know not to bring this on because I told you not to the first time, and the second time before I actually did anything as far as discipline. So you were spoken to twice about why you shouldn't bring this on. So I got your opinion both times because we're talking about it. I want you to know why you can't bring this on, but I also want to know why you are. You know, what's happening, what's wrong. Is it your teacher? You know, all that stuff, because it's not.
Are you just not getting it?
Are you just not understanding? Like, do you need more help? I could say 90% of whatever goes on in his life. Because I don't know, when it was me and I needed somebody to hear me out, nobody heard me out because it just had to be this. I want my son to be comfortable enough to say, I'm going to try new shit because I know I can go back and tell my dad, because he's going to listen to me as to why I did what I had to do. There's all kinds of lessons that we got. Like, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's not what you do, it's how you go about doing it. But there's another way to say that without just saying that this has to be this way.
A lot of parents, I'm not going to say all of them, but a lot of parents where they feel like they are, in a way, somebody did just tell me that they feel like they are living through their child.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be like that.
But it shouldn't be like that.
It shouldn't be like that.
They're running their own course. Yeah, you're just here to help. You're the gutters. You're the gutters to the bowling alley. I can't play bowling without the gutters up. Care how old I am.
Oh, the bumper joints.
Yeah, the bumpers.
Yeah.
I got my gutters balls. The gutters joints up. I feel like that's what you are. Just keeping them, just in case they don't bounce off to the right too much or bounce off to the left too much. Right. You feel me? Keep them right straight so we can hit that strike at the end. Right. And I could be like, damn, I did what the fuck I had to do. Right.
It's up for them how they gonna hit the pins.
Yeah.
You know?
So you gotta learn for next time. You can't throw the ball like that. That's probably the best.
Thought, man.
There's other people in the world that don't think like that. People that'll do the complete opposite and force somebody to do something one way, so they learn how to do it one way. So when you run into somebody who doesn't do it that way, that's when people start bumping heads and it doesn't make any sense and there's an issue.
With that being said, are you guys dictating who your kids can hang out with a little bit? Because you just said it, like, there's people with different beliefs. Now, if you see little Jimmy coming over and he is way left, and you can kind of tell because you can kind of know and kind of predict how somebody's going to be as a kid. Right. Not completely, but just like a basis of, you know what I mean? Right. Because, you know, we all had that talk. Don't bring him back over here. Mm-hmm. Are you going to be that person? Can you kind of, or like you said, just run your course? I want you to learn the hard way, even if you know.
Well, as a child, if it's in plain sight, if they're a child, I'm going to let them know. Like, I'm actually telling them, like, nah, you're not hanging out with them. But as they get older, there's so much you can do, you know? Yeah, right. Like, I'm still be there and let you know, like, look, you're going about it the wrong way, blah, blah, you hanging with the wrong people. Right. But
do you cut it off, or you just letting them know?
As a, like what?
Like, you're not hanging out with them no more.
As a kid.
That's what I'm saying. As a kid,
yeah.
As you get older, you know what I'm saying, you start to make your own decision. You can't, you know.
Yeah, but the older they get, the more you already had a chance to
touch them, so they know already.
So they know, like, all right, I shouldn't be hanging out with this person, right, or I shouldn't be hanging out with this group of people. Like, that all comes with growing up and being molded and seeing everything that I'm telling you. I could show you this, and I could show you that. Ultimately, I need you to just make your decision because I can't make it for you.
See, my stance on it is like, and that's a little bit different than yours. Like, I get what you're saying because you're an adult and you can kind of see where a kid's vision and the way that they were raised, and you might even know their parents, you feel me, to know what kind of kid that they're going to be and grow up to be.
How they were.
So my thing is experience. And the more I'm helping people and the more that people come to me about their problems, my thing is like, I want to just say enough for you to not be so distraught. But I kind of want you to go through something, especially people that are younger. I want you to go through something so you can learn from it. Right. Now, if I bring home 10 people home from school that are supposed to be my friends, and my mom says, don't hang out with him, he's a bad influence, and I keep cutting them off, I never really get the chance to experience why you're telling me this. I'm just kind of listening to you. Yeah. But by the time I'm old enough and you're not telling me what a good friend is, I might be too strong alone to like get put in a different predicament. I don't feel like I'm gonna be like, stop hanging with him, only because I was the kid. People was like, stop hanging with him. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I never had no ill intentions towards none of my friends. It was just, you got to give them a chance. You're not really understanding where they're coming from. You might see something, might hear something, and it might turn you left.
Right.
So my thing is, I'm probably not going to be that guy to be like, stop hanging out with this guy. I might be like, you got to watch out for this. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I know what this means.
Right.
I've been there. If you willing to follow that procedure or what I'm saying, then that's cool. If not, I'm not going to judge you for it. But when the time comes and I end up being right, or I might be wrong, that's your experience. And you hold on to that.
Right.
Feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. I understand, but like, what if you're one time too late, one experience too late?
And you're absolutely right.
That's the only thing that goes in my. I get it. I agree. And I wouldn't even necessarily tell them like, yo, stop hanging out with him. It would be, if you're going to do that, it can't be around my house. Don't bring him around here no more. Do what you got to do.
I don't know,
but not here. Like, that's not happening here. If that makes
gotta
sense.
feel the safest at your house.
For sure.
So at the same time, bro, when you telling a kid to do that somewhere else, you know what I'm saying? I get what you're saying. You're basically saying, like, if you're not going to listen to me, then I don't want to be a part of the problem that may occur.
Not even that. I just don't want to call. I don't want to call it. I'd rather be safe and say, listen, this is how I feel. I'm not going to make you feel how I feel. So if that's your friend for now, I don't want him at my house.
Let's give it a scenario, right? Let's say 13 years old. What is that? 6th, 7th grade?
Something like that, yeah.
6th, 7th grade, okay? Do whatever. You hear that one of your kids' best friends got caught drinking, okay? You don't know that, you don't have no inkling that your kid has been drinking at all. You don't get that vibe from him or nothing.
Yeah.
They come over, he comes over, the bad influence comes over. You wake up in the morning, you find a Gatorade bottle full of liquor. Where do you go from there? Or not even you find it first. Let's just say you hear about it, because a lot of the times you just think that the kid is bad. You don't really know them too good, but let's just say you just hear about them drinking. They come over, you see that they're actually hanging out with them.
Yeah.
What is your steps?
Well, if they're in my house,
yeah,
this is my house, and I do what I want in my house.
Absolutely.
I do not want no underage kids drinking in my house, so you have to go, right? You have to leave right now.
Without even, yeah.
Because my son's wrong too. Because at the time, all these years, he knows that's unacceptable. And it's unacceptable in my house. I don't give a damn if you were drinking somewhere else. You're wrong, because you're not supposed to be drinking, and you know you're not supposed to be drinking. Now, I'm not going to be unrealistic and say that it don't happen, but you know, and I know, because we already had this conversation, that you and alcohol underage is a no. So for you to do that, knowing how I feel, and this is where we stay, is disrespectful to me. And if it's an issue, you know, you don't like how I had to ask you to leave my house, I have no problem talking with parents, because this is my house, and this is how I'm going to run shit. I don't want this going on in my house. I'll talk to both of them before he has to go. I talk to both of them. Y'all are both wrong. I don't know whose it is. I don't care. It's here, and y'all are both here. So by default, y'all are both wrong. My son's wrong because he knows better. He's wrong, not even because I got the story from before. The bottle's in my house. Y'all are together. He knows better, so you should know better, because he should have told you better, but you didn't. So now, before I do, that's why I won't, you know, I'm just gonna have to ask you to leave. It's not no rude kicking nobody out or nothing like that.
It's not allowing that.
Listen, I
disrespected my rules, and if you didn't know my rules, then you also have to leave from the strength that I gotta talk to my son.
I gotta
he
talk
was
to my
supposed
son.
to fucking
My
tell
son
you.
was supposed to let you know, we do not do this here. You can do it. You know, that's all a part of growing up. That's all a part of figuring out, having
Life,
fun.
and that's the scary
Do
part.
your
It's
thing.
like I don't ever want to be that person that's like so strict. My son won't come to me or do certain things around me because he feels like I'm just the no man.
No.
Because you gotta think about, in that process of like 6th grade, even all the way up to 12th grade, there's a lot of what? Like, what am I going to be doing? What am I doing? What is the necessary? How do I, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many questions in that space and period of time that I don't want to be like, no, because I know that a lot of it's fucked up because I've been through it. But I also want you to get your experiences on.
Yeah, have fun and do your thing. Just not at my house.
I
don't care. I'm not going to say no to, you can go here, you can go there, you can do whatever you really want to do. As long as you aren't doing it here where you know you're not supposed to be doing it at. That's what goes all the way back to me saying, I need you to understand you're going to be growing up. You're going to be figuring out who you are. That's totally fine. What I need you to do is I need you to understand this is the foundation. Whatever you do above here, that's beyond me. Whenever you try to go below this is when me and you are going to have an issue. That's the only time. So I understand you saying you don't want to be a no man. It's not even going to be that because you're going to lay ground rules as you carve them.
Absolutely.
So the ground rules are not only your ground rules, they become his. So he knows off the jump, look, we're going to do this. When I used to get lit, what? If I was going home,
take my shirt off.
let me get right before I walk through this house because I know I'm wrong for doing what I'm doing.
So
but I know I'm
the
even
foundation
more wrong.
already. You already know.
You already know. Look, if I'm gonna go home, I better get my shit together because I know my dad's not playing.
You wouldn't let me bring a fucking water bottle full of vodka into your fucking house at all.
Let alone would I let one of my friends do it.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
And just so like the people that are watching kind of get like a grasp on a lot of this stuff. Let's just say because like I'm giving like a what if scenarios. That doesn't mean that I'm living in that what if scenario.
Yeah. These are
like somebody that may be watching that has that type of belief, and I don't want you to be excluded.
Right. Or somebody that's going through it. Like they might be going, or they probably went through that, or
trying to figure it out. So like I'm just trying to help out the person. Anybody, like if we're making you know what I mean? We're trying to do this for everybody.
Right.
We don't want to be one track minded.
I'm biased right now because this is
you're living in that moment.
Yeah, that's something I just know. Like there's just certain stuff we won't be doing. Certain stuff that we ain't never, not in my damn dad's house. That was not happening. Just because we knew, and I knew, like, look, bro, we go to your backyard or something.
Yeah, bro. We know exactly where to go, and but that's the thing, though.
We'd go out back and lift weights until we was cool.
That's a fact.
And then we would go, because we didn't even go in your mom's house like that, because we knew, like, there's just certain stuff we won't be doing.
We had our designated places that were like that.
Yeah.
Like, when we want to get drunk, where we going? Oh, we're going to such and such crib. We're going to such and such crib, and we could only stay in those limited spots. Right down anywhere else, you better sober up. And that was good for us though, like in a way, because but that's what I'm saying, it's like both sides of the story, because if we didn't have that, what would we have been doing? We probably would have been like outside wandering around,
walking around doing it.
You know what I mean? It gave us a spot to do it. So like, I'm not saying I'm gonna do it, but I get why somebody
might want to do that. No, I get it.
It's like you understand. Like,
I understand.
That's
what it is.
But that's another thing too. Like, just because you understand does not mean you have to agree. Like,
no, absolutely.
I get what you had going on. But
we gotta start doing that more. Everybody feels like they gotta be in agreement with every fucking thing, bro. When I get on the internet, the one eyeball out is destroyed. He's not by himself.
But other people, nobody wants to speak up.
But that's the thing. There might be people destroying them on the internet that feel just like him, but they're trying to fit the fuck in.
Fitting in.
Why does our generation feel like that we gotta all be on the same accord? Everybody has to be the same. Nobody's a fuck alike. Not one person. There's twins.
Nobody.
That are completely different from each other. I don't understand why the fuck everybody feels like that.
It's hard. That's what goes back to when we started on this video, as far as taking care of your day-to-day mental health.
I hope y'all was paying attention, because we just took y'all around the world.
We just took y'all
right
all the way back to where we started at, and that all goes with being okay with who you are. That goes with being okay with where you came from, but not making an excuse. Like, you are who you are. There's nobody in the world.
It's not by accident.
You're different for a reason. You're supposed to be different. Be different. Being engulfed in somebody else is where you start to struggle with fitting in. I could care less.
I could care less too.
I don't give a
damn. But I'm glad that you just bring up social media, because that's something that we need to touch on too.
It's the biggest problem.
Is social media having an effect on our generation that bad?
Most definitely.
Because they bring it up all the time.
Terribly.
But I don't live on the internet. There's people in our generation that are also getting lost. I feel like there's people older than us that are getting lost in that shit.
It's been lost.
Grown motherfuckers get lost in this shit.
So is it really that big of an effect on us?
Yeah, it is. If you, just for perfect example, and everybody's gonna hate me for saying it, I don't care. Lil Durk in India. The proposal, right? Just that alone, somebody, it might be a man or a woman, they automatically change the standard as to why they think they have to do something and when they have to do it. Why? Because he did it, and he did it this way. The one thing I will take, and I'll wear it with pride all the time, is when I do some romantic shit or I do something special, it's different. Like, it's not something that I've seen somebody else do. It's something that I came up with.
Right.
And it's just because, like,
it makes it genuine.
Why would I do this? Why would I do something that you probably already seen 4 times?
Right, and a lot of people got excuses on why they posted the video or why they brought a big ass speech to it. But my thing is, why are we so socially influenced? Like, why the fuck did you have? I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
I don't watch nobody's life on the internet and be like, oh shit, I want to do something, or I want that. Like, I'll look at your shit that's just, oh, I see what's going on, but I've never ever lived in somebody else's. You know what I mean? People get fucked up about this shit, like
all the way tore up.
And 9 times out of 10, entertainment. Well, I don't know for sure.
It gotta be like success. You know, our problem is if you're not in a position to be able to be successful at a certain age, you cannot be mad at yourself for not being successful at a certain age. 18-year-olds that are successful, I guarantee you, somebody before him was or her was successful. So they set them up. They're doing stuff that we have no idea is being done. So you cannot be upset that you're not successful at 18, 21, 25, 32. It does not matter. As long as you're taking the steps to be successful in whatever you got going on.
Or using that upsetness to use it as fuel to the motivation. Because think about it, right now, motherfucker, we do 50 goddamn podcasts and 16 people view it every fucking week. If I use my anger not for something bad, I'm gonna turn this shit up.
That's different. If we go from posting 1 time to 2 times to 3 times to damn, they post it every time I open their story. They're posting something.
They're talking about some shit.
They're talking about something, and you know what happens? One person tells somebody, and somebody else tells 3 people, and then 3 people that get told equate to like 7 people.
It's just
and that's why
the not working.
If you don't like the shit, make sure you tell somebody. I don't care. If you don't like what we're doing.
Bad feedback, good feedback, whatever the fuck it is feedback.
Make sure you let somebody know what's going on.
That was
did you see him over there? That shit sucked. Cool.
Yeah, look at little white boy with the B on his fucking head.
Make sure you tell somebody that you don't like it. It's just
if you don't know who I am, goddamn it, I am black and white.
Yeah, everybody in this.
It's winter time and this shit is hurting me.
One thing that I had no clue about until I seen it on TikTok. Matter of fact, eye contact. So it has to look like you're talking to them. So yeah, we have to be involved with the conversation, but every now and then you got to check in. As if you're looking at them and talking to them. You know what I mean? Don't got to be directly in the camera. Just look at yourself.
I'm talking to you.
Because if somebody's looking at you and you look at you, you're looking at them. And I didn't realize that.
So we're having a conversation more than we're having a conversation because that's what it's for more than anything.
Because I can see you without looking at you by looking in here. So
I stand more towards the conversation.
You did do a lot, but you were kind of like hosting, so it's not really.
Yeah, I don't know how that came about.
It just happened.
Like
I wasn't trying to.
Like it's like we're really talking to each other. Like the camera's not even there.
Yeah, but I wasn't trying to like.
But that's good. I'm glad you're like, because that's how we are when we have conversations. That's how we are. You usually like to hear what people have to say.
Facts.
You'll say what you need to say when you need to say
it. Get the shit out the way, and then I want to hear everything else.
I want to hear this shit, and the whole time we're talking, your mind's running, so you're coming up with new shit. That's how we did a whole fucking loop because you was thinking about connecting this shit together, and you didn't even know you was doing it. But that's just how we are. And all this shit right here, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it so it's like a blooper. Yeah. You know,
we're learning. This is our experience. We just figured that out in 2 minutes, but y'all don't understand. It's our first fucking video.
It's the first video.
And
there's gonna get better.
I am nervous as a goddamn. I had to drink. I don't know if y'all kept seeing me slip over. I ain't got it in me. Taking a couple swigs because I'm nervous.
It's gonna get to that. It's gonna get to that.
You don't know the standard that I'm holding it to.
It's supposed to be like that though. I want you to hold it to that standard. Like, I'm just more used to.
That's my twist. I love podcasts and shit. Like that's what I be watching.
I just got to the point where, like I said, I don't care. This is brand new. This motherfucker don't like the camera at all. But he sat here for 40 minutes. This man sat here for 40 minutes.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
This is all new. I'm used to the light. I'm used to all this. This shit don't bother me no more.
I'm somewhat.
But it's going to get to a point where like it's not going to matter. It's literally not going to matter.
These global. I got like my little ghetto, my ghetto community that be talking shit with me, that know me a little bit. Raised off the scene completely. So there's like a whole bunch of different layers that like.
It's going to be different, bro. It's going to get to the point where we're so comfortable we could just have a conversation on our way into the house. post up and still talk while we're in the house. All that kind of shit. And y'all know how I get. I'll pull the phone out instantly. I'm taking videos and all that good shit just so I could get. I knew that this was coming, so I had to mentally get ready. That's where TikTok came in, Instagram. You know, you gotta be able to just say what you gotta say.
Like, I don't think people get it. Like, it takes something in you to like get comfortable to sit in front of a fucking camera and talk to nobody. We're talking to future people that could be watching. That shit is
potential viewers. Like, we don't even know who you are. But
and y'all are making us nervous. The future.
How you making me nervous? I don't even know what you look like. What's wrong with you?
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I like the conversation we had.
Nah, that was a good one.
I did. I like it too. I give us. And we record once every Monday, like we say we are.
You other podcasters up. Not on that type of level, but listen.
Yeah, this shit about to be different.
I'm fucking coming. I need a bag, and I need it now. I'm tired of going to work.
Yo, I'm tired.
Hurts.
I'm tired.
I could cry on camera.
Yeah, I can hear that shit though. I'm really holding back tears right now.
That shit almost came. I got the camera. Nigga, I'm hurt.
Yo, he's just the coolest. Hold on, you gotta give him the spotlight. This might be the coolest motherfucker you will ever meet.
Yeah,
yo, his nickname is literally Julio.
Julio. Be Coolio.
I don't call him nothing else. Cool fucking Breezo.
Cool Breeze.
This man is the coolest person you'll ever meet in your life, and he don't even be trying.
Nah, that's just natural. Hey man, it's fucking brother.
Yo, nah, that nigga Banks is cool.
Bro, he's like a movie cool.
Movie cool.
Bro, everything he says is awesome. I never heard him say nothing weird in my life. It's either funny or really serious.
Yeah,
he don't got no in between. Bro, that nigga's cool as shit. And then look up to him. Remember, he gave me these big ass Jordan 1s. But he made that shit look so easy, bro. But you got Pete. Even through like the big clothes era, that nigga would wear a tight shirt with big pants and Tims and fuck everybody up. I used to go in this nigga's MySpace pics and be like, how? How is he doing this? Bro, his pants are big, his shirt is little, and he's wearing boots. And that shit works.
Yeah, dog, it's really, he's the only person in the world.
No, nobody else was doing that shit, bro. I looked at all of his first pictures too, bro. They wasn't on the same level as this nigga, bro. He was a different type of breed, bro.
Yeah, that nigga swag was immaculate.
Bro, this nigga breed's different.
This
nigga breed take one color out of his shoe and one color that he finds in the hat. And if you don't see it, you just don't see it. He'll tell us.
Yeah, he'll
before we go out. Nigga, you ain't beat. You got that lime green in there. Look at the tongue of my sneak. You ain't know I had the lime green in the tongue of my sneak.
Yo, bro, it's this much green in the sneak, but that shit works.
See, that's a good joint. I'm super basic. Like, I do red. And I need, if I do a red shirt, I want to do light pants, something red in my sneaks, or white sneaks. You know what I mean? Like,
sometimes I get freaky, but
this nigga breed is fucking different
all the time.
That's the first joint. Yeah. We out.
All right, we gotta find a way to end it. How we gonna end it?
This is
Awake and Analyze. Beach.